So now we are moving on to the UCL. It was fantastic. I just love the intensity of the UCL, and I love the controversies. I don't know your take on that, but first of all, let's look at Vinicius. Let's not go to Vinicius. Let's go to Liverpool. Liverpool being knocked out of the Champions League. Did it come as a surprise?
A surprise, I would say before the two legs, if somebody says PSG will outplay Liverpool and then qualify, I wouldn't believe. But then watching the two legs, they totally deserve to be out. Totally deserve to be out.
I think kudos to PSG. They deserve it. Van Dijk had to admit that they were the better side.
Team, yes.
And on our previous show, we made it clear. I always tell you that we bring you facts and figures. We bring you good analysis. On our previous show, I made it a point that in their first leg, they didn't play to their best. But we all understand that Champions League has a funny way of favoring the team that doesn't play well.
Mm-hmm.
So if they come to Anfield and play the same way they played, it would be a problem for them.
Oh, they would have lost terribly.
They should have lost even without penalties. But at the end of the day, football won that night. And I'm happy. Liverpool, we would never walk alone. Liverpool, we would never walk alone. Liverpool. I'm very happy because I have a Liverpool fan who is always on my neck. He's always on my neck, and I'm happy. Ebeko go there and Pimba. Manchester United. I'm still in Europe. I'm still playing in Europe. So Liverpool was knocked out, fair and square. I think they deserve to be knocked out because they didn't play up to their best. Vinicius missed on the. What do you think about Vinicius miss on the penalty?
It was just a bad miss. I don't think there was any intention to. I was hearing some theory about them intentionally missing the penalty.
No. I think that one is Twitter agenda. I think
it was just a bad miss.
I think it's one of those days where the pressure gets to you.
Yeah.
And you perform woefully. He's not the first person to miss on a big game. Big players miss on big games, but it takes the big players to also show up on big games.
Yeah.
And I think he couldn't do that. If they had lost, I think it would have been a bad blow on his career, because things like this, if you don't have the mental
on his career, Vinicius has how many Champions Leagues already? It wouldn't affect him.
Yes, he has it already,
but
it
would be a bad season. It would be a bad season, but I don't think it would affect his career that much.
I've seen players.
They've already has 3 Champions Leagues.
Yes, and I've seen players become worse because they made certain
I don't think
certain mistakes.
I don't think it would have gone any way to.
No. I'm just talking about his mental state.
Don't worry, he's a strong guy.
But we will never know because they never lost. So I think we will never know.
It wouldn't. We've seen players miss penalties and then they've come back stronger. So
you are right.
I don't think it would have. But then it would have been a bad thing for him. That's basically it. Yeah.
Barca. Let's talk about Barca.
Mm-hmm.
I think Barca are just pulling surprises. They are just surprising people every single time. Barca doesn't just win the game. They outplay you. They make sure. In their first leg, they had a red card. They were one man down, and they still won the game. Rafinha has been.
I think Benfica deserves to win that game.
At the best form, they outplay you and they win with a massive point. And Rafinha, I think I'm liking that guy. I like him, but not the team. I just like that guy because he has shown resilience. He has shown the mental toughness. When he came his first season, we all saw him. He was struggling.
Yeah.
And even a lot of people were like, he should be sold. Coming from a team like Leeds and going to Barcelona, I think. And Barcelona was struggling by then.
Yeah, they were struggling.
Under Xavi, they were struggling. So I think it was fair to say that it wasn't at his best. I was making the argument that Yamal will also suffer when he comes to a team like United. Don't you agree?
Well, it depends on the system.
No, like United is struggling. Yeah, we all agree.
Once the team is struggling, players struggle.
Good.
It's
so and somebody was like, "Oh no!" I said, even me. Let me tell you the truth. If I'm playing as a winger and I play in the Barcelona team, I'll perform.
You think so?
Oh yes. all you need, listen, a team like Real Madrid, they were having a player called Danilo.
Mm-hmm.
Danilo was, when we talk about West right backs, he was part of them. But that it's very difficult for you to see that guy's flaws because the team was good.
Mm-hmm.
Man City, you see one or two players who are not fit for the team, but because the team is good, you can't even point out Grealish.
Jack Grealish.
Grealish is, I don't know.
Very, very useless player.
I think he just plays just to get fouled, and he was the most fouled player.
That was his only title.
That was the only record he was setting there.
Mm.
So back to my point that sometimes when you are in a certain kind of team, you won't perform. The United team right now, that is why I respect Bruno a lot. Bruno is one of the players I really respect him, because trust me, to be in a team to carry a team like United at your back is a whole lot of pressure. The disrespect, the amount of disrespect Bruno has on his name.
Bruno gets disrespected.
Oh, come on. He's being compared to certain players just because the team is struggling. If you see that guy, Captain Fantastic. I hate the fact that sometimes he over complains. That one.
Sometimes.
He mostly, not all the time. He's
always complaining.
No, if you watch
he's
2 to 3 of our matches recently,
yeah,
Bruno has been the one putting the players in shape, putting them in a sort of discipline. If we watch the match against Arsenal, the referee had to stop the game when they had the counter. Zeski was pissed. Garnacho was coming. He had to stop all of them. I think he's trying, but he's been fantastic. So for that being said, I think Barcelona, I'm also gunning for Barcelona because they are pulling so many surprises and they are playing against Benfica. Barcelona's next.
Okay, their next game.
Their next game, they are playing against.
Who are they playing against?
Barcelona is playing against Dortmund.
Is it Dortmund?
Yes.
Who is PSG playing against?
But PSG is playing against Aston Villa.
Oh, okay.
And Bayern, Inter Milan, and Arsenal, Real Madrid.
Yeah,
but we will come to that one later. So let's move on to. So Dortmund also won by a chance.
Mm-hmm.
They also won by a chance. I don't choose them to be favorites, and I
no.
Barcelona will knock them out.
Oh,
I know for sure. So this is the main issue, the major issue, the Real Madrid game.
Mm-hmm.
I sat here and I made a conclusion. I always when I make reference, I will make sure that we bring the reference in there. I sat here and I made a reference that Real Madrid doesn't just need experience. They don't just need the football side of the game. You need experience. And most of these players, there's a player playing currently who has his 6th Champions League. He has his 6th Champions League. They have a lot of players who have played in the Champions League and they've won. Almost the whole team. If I stand to be corrected. I think almost the whole team.
I think almost everyone has a Champions
League. Atletico was hungry for the game. They were hungry, and I blamed Simone for the first leg because you were in control of the game. You were in charge of the game. Because he was scared, he just took out all his players and brought in defenders. This was one of those days where Real Madrid gets lucky. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, God is a Real Madrid fan. Whether you like it or yes. Even Satan supports Real Madrid. Because sometimes you and I know that they are supposed to lose. Well, no. What was your expectation? Was this and the I want you to talk about the expectation and the controversies surrounding it, even the penalty.
Honestly, I didn't think they were going to lose. I didn't think they would lose.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a tough game for Real Madrid, but then, I think I said in our previous episode, Real Madrid is Real Madrid when it comes to the Champions League. Had it been the La Liga, trust me, I'm sure Atletico would have won that game. But then Real Madrid just has this aura when it comes to the Champions League. So, yes, I knew it was going to be a tough game, but I knew Real Madrid was going to qualify. Also, especially because they had won the first leg 2-1. and then they were playing home.
And
I knew
the goal came in very fast. I think 27 seconds.
Yes. So we all thought it was going to be a very bad game for
I think
Real
that's
Madrid.
the fastest goal in the Champions League.
I think. I'm not too sure.
I stand to be.
I think
it's
one
not
of
in like in the world, but I think in the Champions League.
In the Champions League, yeah, I think so.
That was so fast.
It was, and then the game was so, I don't know. It was
like
just,
it changed the
it was
demeanor of the
topsy-turvy
game.
from beginning because like they were all over the place, and then there was this kind of energy behind the game. So it was a nice game. And then honestly, I slept off whilst I was watching the game because I was so tired that day. Yes. But then I woke up later on just when they were about to start the penalties. So yes, I watched the penalties. In regards to the penalties, Julian Alvarez. So when I watched it, I thought he had kicked the ball against the pitch, which caused it to bounce and then go that high. But then the next day, I think UEFA released a statement with a video supporting the statement that even though the touch was minimal, the rule is the rule. Once it's a double touch, it's supposed to be ruled out. So yes, I watched the video. There was a little shift, just a little shift of the ball before he kicked it. So the rule is the rule.
Players are being
it's hard for them, but then
even sometimes players are being given red card not because they touched the player, but because it was a dangerous play. So I don't think it's being minimal.
Exactly, yes. To dictate
negate the fact that it was.
Yes, once there was a touch, there was a touch. So
and when you watch the TL, you realize that people were arguing on the fact that it has never been done before. But
so
I remember
been ruled out so many times.
Leicester against Man City in the EPL.
You had
Mahrez.
Mitrovic also the same
Mitrovic
thing.
too also had the same.
Oh, there were a lot.
And they ruled it out. People were arguing at the fact that, okay, fine, it has been ruled out. Why don't you play it again? It should be a retake.
Yes, that was my argument as well. Because when the keeper should step outside the line and then makes a penalty save, the player is supposed to retake. And I think the goalkeeper is given a yellow card or something. So if that is the case, why not consider that as well? Why not?
But don't you think in the keeper's defense, in the defense of that, you the player are rather lucky to get a retake because the keeper has saved the ball.
If you had not stepped off your line, I wouldn't have been given a retake.
But do you know that if the keeper steps off his line and you score, it is taken as a goal?
Yes, it's taken as a goal.
Good.
Yes.
So there is no way they can retake if you have gone against the rules.
If it's intentional, fine. This wasn't intentional. So even with the statement UEFA released, they said they will send an appeal or whatever, a letter to FIFA and whatever to review as to the conditions surrounding that particular incident or in such scenarios. If it's intentional, fine. If it's an accident or if the touch is very minimal, then maybe to be reconsidered.
But how can we tell if it is intentional?
If it's intentional, it's always obvious. There was a slip. The guy slipped before hitting the ball. It was obvious.
And even it was Mbappe.
Accidental.
It was Mbappe who drew the linesman's attention. Did you realize that?
It was Mbappe, but then I think a lot of people saw it. And then because they know the rule.
Because he slipped.
Yes, because he slipped. And then because they know the rule, they decided to at least argue it. Had they not argued it, or was VAR not available,
it would have
been given. Because the referee didn't see it. You get it?
Yeah.
But once you argue it, then VAR goes like, okay, wait, let's check.
Then let's check.
They see a touch and then...
And a lot of people were saying that they've never seen the VAR in the penalty shootout before.
Oh, don't mind them.
What is the VAR
How many times has this incident happened?
Yes.
Where a player slips, makes a double touch and then they
I remember United versus, was it 207? United versus Chelsea. John Terry's penalty.
He didn't. It wasn't a double touch.
When he slipped, was it a double touch?
No.
But
he slipped, but he still kicked it.
Good. Was it not a double touch?
No.
Okay, so let's say it was a double touch. Do you know that they wouldn't even review it?
They wouldn't review it.
He hit the bar.
Yeah.
I say. Nobody cares. I say. So for me, I'm not trying to be biased. I think it was.
The rule is a rule.
It was somehow Barca fans were.
Of course, they wanted Real Madrid to go.
Barcelona fans are just.
Yeah.
They're just so mean. Like I don't know. they just wanted Real Madrid to lose. So everybody went against the fact that Real Madrid shouldn't have won. Yes, we all wanted a fair fight. But in this case, the rule is the rule, as my brother said. We can't change the rules just because somebody is not feeling it. We just have to move on. So yes, with that being said, I think Julian Alvarez, he did well.
He was unlucky.
He was unlucky. They did well, but he was unlucky. And even him, I think a statement came out where they asked him that did he have had a double touch, and he was like he didn't feel it, so he's not sure if it was a double touch. But
the touch was very minimal. I don't think.
And Henry was arguing about the fact that sometimes the referees are supposed to explain to the players so they calm down, like in rugby. When an issue happens, the referee in the match is able to explain for everybody to understand that this was the reason why this happened. But in football, it's like now you can't even talk to the referees. If you have watched most of the recent matches, you can't even talk. The moment you move to the referee, you are likely to be shown a card. Because they feel like you're about to attack the referee. But we are playing football, and we can. Even the captains are taking card now. So if the captains are taking card, who are you to move if you are not a captain? So I think UEFA, FIFA,
it should be reconsidered.
Those things should be reconsidered. And referees should be sanctioned for bad officiating.
Okay, yeah.
How do they give a coach 9 matches banned? We'll come to that.
I don't know what he did, but then
I don't. He shouted at a referee. He went to the referee, and he was very angry. He was shouting. There was no physical touch. There was no. But you give
9 months.
9 months. But a referee makes a bad call, a team loses.
Yes, they just release a statement.
They are sorry. And I think that should never happen. If a referee makes a bad call, he should be sanctioned. The same way a player is fined for making a silly comment. Even players' social media handles are even regulated. You make a silly comment, you are being fined. So I think, in my opinion, referees need to be sanctioned if they go the wrong, or if they have a bad officiating. Like one of the referees who would have gone to prison would have been the Chelsea versus Barca.
Mark. Oh, bro. I'll never forget that name.
I never want to bring that one out because
I'll never forget that
is
name.
a trigger for most Chelsea fans. But all the same,
I'll never forget that name. And that's why I hate Barca.
Oh,
that is the reason I hate Barca. So.
I never liked Chelsea, to be frank. But that day, I was supporting Chelsea. That year and the following year, I became a Chelsea fan because I hate. Up to now, I've never forgiven Barca, even not when they scored us 2 Champions League finals. That one even didn't pain like this. Yes, but as the conversation goes, it is what it is. And on our next episode, we will talk about the EPL. There are a lot of happenings in the EPL that we haven't spoken about it, but this is the UEFA we are talking about. We have outlined all the controversies surrounding the UEFA matches and the penalties. We spoke about Vinicius having sports Real Madrid's chance if the penalty shooter didn't go well. But this is your favorite sports show. And ladies and gentlemen, we are being supported by DSTV. The Step Up promotion is still ongoing. So please make sure you pay. Step it up, we step you up. Step it up, we step you up. You're on the family, you pay for Compass, we upgrade you to the Compass Plus, and it goes on and on like that. So pay your subscription so that you can follow our analysis. This is Beyond the Scoreboard, and we bring you good analysis, in depth of how football happens on and off the field. I am your host, D General, and I had my brother here giving us solid analysis. It's in the person of Gato. Thank you so much for coming through.
We close. We don't talk about this guy finish. Or we don't talk about this guy finish. Yeah. Or we close another time. Yeah, I got plenty things to talk about this boy.
Why?
What
Salah do you?
Mohamed Salah. The guy. Jesus.
What Salah do you? I think the only issue he has is because he's being compared to Hazard.
No, aside that, so look, aside the fact that he's being compared to Hazard, so this is my point, yeah. This boy then, Hazard then, Oscar them, then William them, then play one team around the same age. It can be no sit up. for goal loan for Wolfsburg and since no, I think it was the brand that who went to Wolfsburg.
And today he's breaking records. He has won everything.
Which record he break? Which record he break?
Oh, even today, he has joined Aguero and I think Aguero and one other player in most man of the winner man of the
match, or you talk winning goals?
No, it's not man of the match. Player of the month. He has won it the most.
Bro.
So he's up there with
here at the talk.
Aguero.
That be what at the talk.
I think Drogba.
The guy them creates the team for him. Them play everything, give and push for the 18-yard inside or counter attack. Put the ball for in front. He get the pace, run and go score.
But he's doing
Time your team they need you. Hold ball, shot 1, 2, 3 player, playmaker, short player. Create some kind of
This is a topic for another
Vitinha,
day.
we they have Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz,
yes,
they control in midfield.
Wait. We'll have this discussion for another day. And I'll bring more
You watch Hazard against PSG before?
It's just between me and him.
I mean,
that is the reason why he's doing that.
You watch Hazard against PSG before?
But this is
you watch Hazard for World Cup.
Day.
Hazard against
Ladies
Brazil.
and gentlemen,
Hazard against Brazil. Hazard against France.
I will mute your mic and
mute
we
me.
are done.
Mute me. This guy.
I will mute your microphone and we are done. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is
we close. I talk about my finish. We close.
This is beyond the scoreboard. And
this
is how we do it in the studios. We have fun and we do.
Achuna ye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we out. Bye bye.